So my talk today, we were talking about it being the storm is coming, and I could have named this talk, riding out the storm, because it's about the quality of us that comes forth when storms happen, and that's resilience. The world is undeniably filled with ups and downs and storms and challenges, and it will always be that way. But our ability to navigate these changes depends largely upon this quality called resilience. And it's interesting to think about how much of it do we have? Can we grow resilience? Can we build up our reserves of resilience? And I believe that absolutely yes, we can, because I don't believe that resilience is just something that we kind of muster, right? It's something that is an ever-present quality that we can tap into. So I think of building resilience as an essential life skill. It's really important because there are many reasons why we might want to call upon our reserve of resilience. We can think of resilience as our antidote to fear, as our antidote to anxiety or sometimes depression. And if you think of life like a great ocean, then our resilience is like our rudder and our sail that's able to navigate us through the waves of life. So the stronger our resilience is, the stronger we are, and we can navigate through any challenge. There's an example of resilience personified greatly in someone right here in this room, and that is Myrtle Hawkins. Yesterday, I featured a video in the newsletter of our very own Myrtle Hawkins, and I was thinking, this is a person who embodies resilience. Every time I've talked to her on the phone, she's never down. Even when she was getting ready to go into a major surgery, she always had her eye past that. And I was talking with her last night, and she said, I'm going to make it. I've got purpose. And she was describing to me again how she plays piano for people who aren't easily able to leave their homes. And she does that remotely over Zoom with her grandson, Glenn. And that is what excites her. That's her vision for her life, is to bring that. And that's so inspiring to me. I'm just going to actually take it's hard for me to see who's in here in the room, but I'm just going to see. Oh yeah, Myrtle is here. So thank you, Myrtle, for that. And speaking of vision, it just so happens that letting your vision drive you is one of those hooks to building greater resilience, strengthening your rudder, strengthening your sail. Because when you have your eye on the vision, nothing can get in your way. Michael Beckwith once said that pain pushes until vision pulls. Pain pushes until vision pulls, right? So would you rather be pushed around by your pain or pulled like a tractor beam by your steady, clear vision or intention, right? This is the same concept that Esther Hicks teaches in the law of attraction. And Myrtle Hawkins is pulled by her vision. This is also a timely topic because as we enter into winter solstice, and it's, as you can see, it's getting darker and darker, it's another good reason to think about resilience because we're going into kind of a spiritual darkness. It's in our genes that there's a feeling of uncertainty at this time. That's why there's so much around, the season of hope as Christmas approaches. And so I like to think of, once again, at this time of winter solstice, that we can tap into resilience and be more aware of resilience. As the storm outside begins, I was seeing the trees blowing around, and trees can be instructive because trees are, to me, the embodiment of resilience. They thrive through the seasons despite their changing appearance. They look dead at times, but they're not. When they lose all their leaves in the fall, depending on what kind of tree they are, they still have resilience because they're flexible. The more flexible they are, the more they can bend with the winds of winter. And so it is with us, isn't it? That flexibility is another hook into resilience, because isn't flexibility just the willingness to accept change? And along the topic of resilience, also I was watching a movie this week called First Man. It's not a new movie, but it's fairly recent. It stars Ryan Gosling as Neil Armstrong, the first person to step onto the moon. And the movie opens with him flailing and failing, and he fails again and again and again as a test pilot. But he becomes stronger through it until he is selected as the one to be a part of this mission and to be the first one to step onto the face of the moon. And he told people, Neil Armstrong in real life told people, we need to fail down here so we don't fail up there. And so failing can be viewed as another hook into resilience, failing as an advantage. I've been seeing a lot of videos from Elon Musk lately, and Elon Musk failed so many times in many of his ventures. But, I was thinking about all of the rockets that just, the unmanned rockets, they just fell apart, and people were doubting his ability to go into space. And now he's at the forefront of that through his failures. He always talks about how failures are important. So how has failure made you more resilient in your life? To finish up on this space theme, I was also thinking of one of my favorite movies. I haven't watched in a while, but it's Apollo 13. And for those of you who know the story or have seen the movie, they also were on their way to the moon, but they had problems and they weren't able to complete the mission. Their lives were in danger. Something happened to their ship, and scenarios that they had rehearsed hundreds of times, those scenarios didn't happen. Other things happened, and they had to improvise. They were faced with a situation where they were just fighting to get home and trying to figure out how to get home. And if you remember the movie, and this is, it's true that there were no calculators. In fact, their whole ship, the ship had the processing capacity of a modern day calculator, not a computer. But the people in mission control, they didn't have calculators. They were engineers that had pencils and erasers and slide rules, and they were crunching these numbers real time, trying to get everybody home. And literally the solutions involved duct tape, and it was just, and lots of other things. But it's just amazing that they didn't give up. And those astronauts, they had resilience in them because they had failed so many times. They were test pilots, so they had so many more failures than successes, right? And it was resilience that got them home. In fact, it went from, the two most famous quotes from that time and from the movie are, "Houston, we have a problem." And that transition to the mission controller later, the head of mission control, saying, "I believe this is going to be our finest hour, not our worst hour," right? And so when we in life encounter, "Houston, I have a problem," this can be a great model. This is going to be our finest hour and not our worst hour. And so the crew of all the Apollo missions could have lost hope. They could have given up, but they relied on their failure. And, our problems in life, of course, may not be as daunting as this, but life itself will always present us with problems. And the world does not change, but we can change by either building resilience and relying upon it, which is rooted in our spirituality, or not. We get to choose. So along uh, this hypothesis of mine that building resilience is a life skill and that resilience is a store upon which we can build and draw from, I was remembering a BuzzFeed article on 100 ways to build resilience. And it turns out that Connie Habash was quoted along with dozens of other authors, and she was actually featured quite prominently. And I'm going to take a few of the best of those ideas to share with you about resilience. The first is find humor in situations. And this is from a different author than Connie. The next time you're getting caught up in the moment of worry and frustration, Jerry Geidner says, when things seem the most bleak, there are always ways that you can look for the humor. It may be dark humor, but being able to laugh at yourself, especially yourself, can be instructive and can get you through those bad times. And I think this follows along the lines of don't take things too seriously, not even your own thoughts, not even your own opinions about yourself. You know, levity. I was thinking that when I was taking care of my mom, one of the things that got us through was she had this wicked sense of humor. And I videotaped some of those moments of just us laughing, and she couldn't stop laughing. I remember this one time she could not stop laughing, and laughing is healing. And that got us through. So humor is a way to resilience. The next is to surround yourself with positivity. And this comes from that BuzzFeed article from an author named Danielle Dufayette. And she says, her advice is read positive books, especially those that feature people who have turned their lives around for the better. And I will say, watch positive movies. Write positive quotes on sticky notes throughout your house. Fill your mind with inspiring positive affirmations which are central to what we believe in terms of how to pray. So that's her advice. And next in the BuzzFeed article was a piece of advice published by Connie Habash. And it's called Think Again. And in this article, she offers a few tips for building resilience. And I'll summarize them by saying, be present. It's hard to tap into resilience when our mind is busy creating stories of worry and fear. Stop for a moment. We don't live in the future or the past. We live right here in the present moment. So be here now, like Ram Dass would say. And next piece of wisdom from Connie is question your thoughts. She says, don't believe everything you think. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith says, thoughts are not reality, and they are not necessarily true. Consider that there may be other thoughts that are more true and more helpful that you can be thinking. This reminds me of a speaker that we had at the beginning of last year, Lisa Bloom Robinson, and she would always say, stop, think again, reconsider that thought you just had. What were you just thinking and saying about yourself to yourself? Rethink that. So next in the BuzzFeed article, a business coach named Dori Padilla says, be aware of the resilience that you have already and get in touch with it. Be aware of the fact that you are already resilient. Most people have already had adversities in their lives which actually made them already resilient. So think about the hard times that you've had in your life. What have you learned? Aren't you tougher because of it? Aren't you stronger because of it? And aren't you more flexible and adaptable to change because of it? Possibly. And I was thinking about the one adversity we have all gone through that makes this talk something that relates to everyone on the planet, and that is the entire planet is going through COVID right now. I don't think there's a single person in the world that has not been directly or indirectly impacted by COVID. But I was thinking of when I used to get the groceries, I would wash my vegetables. Anybody there with me, right? Washing the vegetables and not wanting to touch the groceries and leaving them in a paper bag in the corner until the germs died for a couple of days, like if there were non-refrigeratable items. And how we've migrated to understanding, okay, I can go to the store, I can do this safely and that safely. I'm going to wear a mask, I'm going to do the right things to protect myself. And how we have adapted as a planet so quickly to this. We are adapting and we will continue to adapt given the uncertainty. We don't know if 8 months from now it's going to be completely gone or if it's going to be kind of like it is today. And there is this, in the face of that, we're building resilience because we have to just keep on keeping on and not let that uncertainty get us down. So COVID has been that teacher for us. So finally, I'd like to turn towards this acquisition of resilience as a spiritual practice in itself. And it can be a connector from all other spiritual practices. So we can absolutely pray to tap into our stores of resilience because we know we're not alone. We know that when in doubt, we can metaphysically give it up to God, which we are. But we can picture just handing something up to God as if God were outside of us, because that lets us visualize taking it off of our shoulders. Rachel Cooley has this exercise in her angel practice about just visualize an angel and just say, and literally put your problem in your hand and say, angels, take this from me. I don't need to worry about the details of how it needs to be worked out. I trust. God is all in for me. So am I all in for God. So that's a beautiful prayerful exercise. And the other one is meditation, which is woven into Unity's principles. It's woven into the prayer practice. And last week, Reverend Paulette Pipe talked about temple bell moments, where anytime you're faced with adversity, you can just say, I am just going to just center myself and take a breath, because I'm not living in the future. I'm not living in the past. I'm not living in what if. I'm not living in what if that disaster happened. I'm not living in worst case scenarios. I'm living in the present moment where all is well. So I'd like to end with finally using a tool of affirmations, and I'm going to sneak a few denials in here, which are the opposite of an affirmation, but you'll see how they can work. And we'll just say these few affirmations to close out this talk. So if you will, just take a deep breath. Feel yourself coming to the center of yourself, where this present moment is the most important thing, where you are more divine than any place, any person, any situation, any time. You are completely divine, becoming more and more aware of that divinity in each and every moment. And so repeat after me, if you will. I am more resilient than I know. I am restored when I look for the humor in tough situations. I am stronger because of any past failures. I surround myself with positive people. I will not let any situation rattle my cage. God is on my side. God has got my back. My God is bigger than any problem in front of me. I will not let the pain push me. I will not let any situation have power over me. I will not let any thoughts have power over me. I will instead be pulled by the vision. I trust completely. I let go. And so it is.
I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night, a perfect thought since time began. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. Its power in my hands. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy. Forever blessed where I stand. I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night, a perfect thought since time began. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. Its power in my hands. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy. Forever blessed where I stand. Affirm these words with me. I am
Gently close your eyes or gaze at the serene photo on your screen. Let's take 3 centering breaths together. As you inhale and exhale, feel relaxation flow through your body. Your muscles relax. Your heart beats slow and steady. With every breath, you let go of chaos, anxiety, any pain, anything that no longer serves you. In this moment, you are truly present. In this moment, you are loved and you radiate love. In this moment, there is perfect peace. In this moment, you are deeply connected with Spirit, and you know all is well. Take these blessings and any others that come up for you into your heart as we go into the silence. Becoming aware of your breath again. As we return from this meditation, take note of any changes in mind, body, spirit. How do you feel right now? All is well right now, and so it is. Namaste.
You'll change dust into gardens, pieces into peace, tears into fountains, chains into release. doubt into action, vision renew, perfect creation unfolding in view. You hold all of heaven inside you, no matter what you go through. And if your dreams burn down to ashes, you rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You hold all of heaven inside you, no matter what you go through. And if your dreams burn down to ashes, rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light. Dust into gardens, pieces into peace.